What's going on, guys? Welcome back to BlackTideTV. In today's live commentary, I've got a Quartermaster update for you, the third Quartermaster update of Call of Duty Infinite Warfare's life cycle. This update was released January 11th, 2017, and brought with it over 100 new variants, 9 new prototypes, and over 600 customization items. Now, I'm going to be doing my best to get through all of that today, though I'm not going to be individually detailing each and every item. Instead, I'll be teaching you guys the things that you might not have noticed, the things you might not know, explaining some things. I'm going to be pointing out the things that you should be keeping an eye out for, so the best of the best of the new items. And we're just going to jump into it here in a moment. Now, some warnings that I have for you before we get started here, because it is a live commentary. My equipment does not like to live comm. For whatever reason, I use the exact same setup when I live comm as when I do edited comms, and I've explained this before, but for whatever reason, my equipment just likes to put in interference and weird background noise when I do live commentaries. I feel like it has something to do with my capture card, and it's never really worked right since I got it, so I will be working on getting a new capture card this year. The other warning that I have for you is that I wholeheartedly disagree with almost everything you're about to see in this video. I'm not okay with this update. I was not a fan of this update. I knew there was going to be new prototypes, and I was excited for those. I was excited for the new epic weapons that were going to be coming to this game. I knew of them. I knew the nature of them. I did not know of the Mark II collection, and I don't think anyone did. I did not know we were going to get 600 new customization items, and I'm not okay with that because it dilutes the prototype lab. It dilutes the supply drip system so that you cannot get the prototypes that you actually want. So almost everything that you're about to see, I wholeheartedly disagree with. I am not a fan of it. I tried to make a couple of videos last night and put my feelings into words, and let's just say those videos were not professional. I did not feel like I should be putting those on my YouTube channel. So in the spirit of professionalism, I'm going to be going through this update today, and we're going to keep it really simple, just a simple news Quartermaster update here on the channel. So the first thing you should know is the Mark II collection has been added. And this is where that confusion will be lifted from you when I said there's 100 new variants but only 9 new prototypes. Well, the Mark II collection essentially takes all of the original prototypes and doubles them up. So Mark II is the pinnacle of next-gen weapon fabrication. Each Mark II weapon is manufactured from the most valuable of rare metals and generates an additional 15% experience per kill. Now, if you open up the Mark II collection, it has every single variant in the game duplicated with a new camouflage. They have these new hex camouflages. So there's a white hex camouflage for the commons, a blue, a purple, and an orange hex camouflage for the epic weapons, which I think is kind of silly. I think they should have kept the camouflages on the weapons. I don't think it makes a lot of sense to put a hex camouflage over these things, especially with the epic weapons, just because if you actually take a look at the original epic weapons, they always have a different look to them. Like the R3KT here has a really, really nice red finish, a shiny red finish. The Invective, of course, it doesn't have that great of a finish, but it does actually change the way the weapon looks. The Butcher is nice bright orange, but in the Mark II collection, when you go into here, we have the R3KT, and it's got this orange hex camouflage, and they kind of just take the entire camouflage of the original weapon out, and they put in this hex camouflage instead. Apart from the hex camouflage, the only difference is that every weapon here gets an additional 15% extra XP per kill, which essentially makes the Quartermaster Collection's Volt Corruption useless. The Volt Corruption has the Mo Money trait, and that gives you extra experience for each kill, and that was the number one thing why a lot of people wanted to use the Volt Corruption so they could level up a lot quicker. But although we have not got exact information on how much extra experience the Mo Money trait gives you, because I've been asking Joe Seacoat, I've been asking Activision support, Activision, Infinity Ward since the day this game came out about the extra experience, and I've still not received an answer. Because we don't know what that is, it could still be better than the 15%, but I'll give you an even better idea of how to get the most XP per kill, and that is to hopefully unlock the Volt Corruption Mark II. So now you will be getting the extra experience from the Mo Money trait and 15% extra experience. So you basically get an additional amount of experience per kill. But again, that is a supply drop only weapon, as is every single Mark II variant. You cannot build them with salvage, so it will be just as hard to get that as it is to get the original Volt Corruption, which I still have not got from day one. All three of these weapons, the Bosozoku, the Machete, the Corruption, as well as any of the other Quartermaster Collection variants, have been added to the Mark II collection. So, for example, what was we'll go over here, we'll go to the shotgun and the machetes right there. So all of the Quartermaster Collection weapons have been added to the Mark II collection, which could be good for some people because they were hard to get out of the Quartermaster Collection. There was only one way to get them, and that was out of the supply drop. Now there are two ways to get it, and that is two different versions of the weapon. Now the thing about the Mark II collection that I should point out is these are still common, rare, legendary, epic. These are not common Mark II, legendary Mark II. These are just common, rare, legendary, and epic. So these are just as easy to unlock as the standard prototypes, as the Quartermaster Collection variants, etc. The only variants that did not make it into Mark II were the Mission Team Depot variants, and these are the only way you can unlock these variants is by ranking up your mission teams. Something else that I should point out here is in the prototype lab, there's been new items added. Now there are 9 new variants. A lot of them are kind of basic variants. For example, the NV4 Redemption, which has kickback, kicks with the last few bullets, and a magazine refill the mag. But for the most part, most of these variants are pretty easy to skip over. You won't really notice anything really different here. I believe that there's a couple new epic variants that you're gonna want to pay attention to. But apart from that, there are only 2 other weapons that you might be interested in, and that is the RAW or Raw Incision, which has Rupture, which makes its energy shots now penetrate the enemies and the world. So instead of reflecting, your energy shots will now shoot through walls and shoot through enemies. It also has Flak, which does more damage to score streaks. Secondly, the other weapon that's not epic that you might be interested in from this drop is the KBS Longbow Bombshell, which I honestly think should be an epic weapon, but it has Visor Detonation, which causes enemies to explode and do damage to enemies near them, and can even kill enemies near them if you hit them with a headshot. So you headshot an enemy, they will explode and they can kill nearby enemies. Imagine how powerful that will be on the end of Frontier, that long hallway map. If you shoot down there and you hit a headshot, you might get a triple or quad feed right off that one headshot. But apart from that, there was 3 new epic weapons, I believe. So there were no new shotguns. We have the same old shotguns as we've always had, but we did get a new pistol, the EMC Switchblade, which has Supercell, which releases a wide energy blast when fired, and also has Stability, which is reduced recoil. Now, I have seen that in the trailer, the Switchblade is marketed as a shotgun pistol. The Supercell, basically, it's like a pump action shotgun or something like that, or I guess it doesn't really matter what type of shotgun it is, but it fires off shotgun shells. It shoots out pellets instead of shooting out a single shot. So it's essentially a shotgun pistol, and it looks pretty powerful. I believe that's the only new pistol. The other weapons that we got were, let me see here as I try and figure this out. We got the Mauler Sentinel, which fires a vertical column of bullets, which is pretty crazy. It's like a straight wall of bullets that you can just like kind of fire back and forth, like take your aim and move back and forth and spray like a wall of bullets at your enemies. It basically takes all of the skill out of aiming your weapon, which could be good, could be bad, we'll see. I think it's going to waste a lot of ammo very, very quickly. The last epic weapon that we got was the Erad Cyclopean, which has Particle Beam, which releases a concentrated beam of energy, and also has Focus, which is reduced idle sweat. Now this looks like the coolest variant that has dropped today, and it looks like the EM1 from Advanced Warfare. If you remember the EM1, that laser cannon that was hyped all to hell in every trailer and everything about Advanced Warfare. It was supposed to be the best weapon in the game. It was going to be the most popular weapon in the game, and then it never got used because it was complete trash. Well, this weapon kind of looks just like it. It shoots a particle beam. Kind of looks like you're running around with like a Ghostbusters pack on, and you're shooting the stream. And, don't cross the streams. It looks like one of those kind of beams, and it looks pretty cool. Actually, I'm not gonna lie. I'm excited to try this weapon out. But I believe those are the only 3 new epic variants, if I'm not mistaken. But that's what you've got for your Quartermaster update here. We've also got a bunch of new customization items, so let's go and take a look at those. Those are not in the armory, but they will be diluting the supply drop system as a whole. So I believe we got new calling cards. I'm not exactly sure about that. I haven't exactly looked through absolutely everything. Yeah, we definitely got new calling cards. One out of 189 calling cards. So we probably got about 100 calling cards added here in this update. A bunch of epic calling cards, tons and tons and tons of common items. That's what everyone's really mad about, is that they added all of these common items, and common items pop up a lot more than epic items. So it's going to be really, really, really hard to unlock your epic variants and other epic items that you actually want. I believe they added emblems as well, 106 emblems now. So yes, they added probably, I want to say 40 emblems here, and they're all common items as usual. So of course we're going to be getting these over our variants and stuff as well. That is just the tip of the iceberg. If I go to create a class and I click on this weapon, for example, and we go to personalize, the camouflages, you guys are going to be, this is going to be, get triggered warning. So 123 camouflages in the game now. They added over 100 camouflages overnight. All of these mostly commons. They added a couple rares in here somewhere. There's mostly commons and rares, mostly common and rare items. But yeah, all of these camouflages, all of the calling cards, emblems, they're all going to dilute the loot pool a lot more. So it's going to be a lot harder to get your variants, especially with those Mark II variants, because for someone like me, for example, when I'm doing my epic variant reviews, I'm not going to be doing epic variant reviews of the Mark II variants, because they don't have the same old really cool camouflages that the original weapons had. For example, if I go in here and I look at the Quartermaster collection, look at the bright green camo that the machete has. It's got this bright green camo. It's got a bloody knife on the end. It looks really cool. Like, this is a zombies in Spaceland type of weapon. It looks flashy. It looks awesome. The Ripper Bosozoku, or the RPR Evo Bosozoku, has this bright pink Japanese style anime kind of camouflage on it. But in the Mark II collections of those exact same weapons, it's just a red hex or an orange hex, and it's just an orange hex. So it takes away from the camouflage, which is part of epic variant reviews, and that is part of why I love getting new variants, because they have different camouflages, the weapons themselves change and they look different. These all look the same now, and they're not special to me. I'm not excited to get these weapons. So now it's going to be 3 times as hard, both with all of the customization items and with the entire Mark II collection in here, to get the variants that I actually want in the original prototype lab. So essentially what I'm going for is, I'm going to try and get new prototypes when I do my supply drop opening, but at the same time, I'm also going to be trying really hard to get variants or duplicates, I should say, so that I can get enough salvage so I can just purchase the variants that I want. Because these weapons you cannot purchase with salvage, and they're basically useless to me. I wish there was a way to turn off the Mark II collection, because I don't want it. Even with the 15% extra experience, I don't care. I don't need it. I don't want it. They can take it away. I think it's the stupidest thing that they've ever put in any Call of Duty ever. But that's enough about that before I go on another tangent. Now, I believe there were other items added here. I think there was, oh yes, so there was new accessories added. There is now 42 accessories. I believe they added, like, I want to say 20 new accessories. A lot of them are kind of really weird. There's like a little octopus guy, this Mr. Smuggy Puss. There's a little octopus guy with a mustache and stuff. That was in the trailer. TF141, the dice, the EMC. You can have a little EMC falling off your weapon or whatever. But yeah, you've got all of these kind of new accessories, which I never use the accessories anyways. I don't find that they look too good. And whenever I use accessories, they just kind of spin around and I can't really see what they look like anyways. So I'm not a fan of the accessories. I've made a couple videos on that already, but I'd rather them add in a kill counter or a clan tag option for your weapons, but they have not. As for combat rigs, I believe they added a whole bunch of new heads for each combat rig. So 17, it's not a whole bunch, but they added in like, I want to say 5 or 7 or something like that, because originally when they started adding in things, there was actually, they haven't even added in any bodies yet, but originally when I started adding in things, there was bodies that didn't have heads that matched them, so they started adding in heads to match, and now it looks like they have too many heads. The next update that we're going to get will likely include a whole bunch of Quartermaster bodies for each of our characters. But I think that's just about it. I don't know if they added any new gestures. I'm pretty sure these are all the same, unless they added a bunch of common gestures up here. But I'm almost certain that they didn't add in any gestures. They may have added in new taunts. There's now 32, but I believe that there was something close to 32 before. So they might have added like 2 or 3, but nothing too crazy. On top of all of this Quartermaster update, they added in a couple new fixes to the actual game. It was an official game update, not just a Quartermaster update. So they did update some things in the game. There was some patches to different weird little exploits in different maps, and there was a fix for the perk 2 challenge hardline, or high score for the perk hardline, which is really great. I've been waiting for that for a long time. Private matches are now officially private. You can actually get into a private match and no one else can join you unless you invite them, which we've been waiting for since day one. But apart from that, guys, I think that's just about it. I think I've covered almost everything that there is that's new. Just a ton of things in this supply drop, and in this supply drop or Quartermaster update. A ton of things that I'm not a fan of. A lot of people are not okay with what they've done here. It's just kind of silly that they should add in a whole new section of variants that we already have. It's almost like they got lazy. They're like, okay, we need to get more money out of our fans, but we're not creative enough to come up with a whole new SKU of variants. We better just take every single variant that we already have. By the way, I should prove to you that these are the exact same variants. So say the Type 2 Impulse has Deathbringer and Stockpile, and it's a rare variant. If I go to Mark II, the Impulse has Stockpile and Deathbringer, and it's a rare variant, but it has the Hex Camo and the 15% extra XP. But it's almost like they took these variants and they said, you know what, we need to put in more variants. We need to dilute the pool a lot more, so more people will start spending more money on our game with the CoD points and all that. So we should just find a way to add more items into the game. So they went, oh, well, we're too lazy to figure out some new variants and to make some new variants for the game, so let's just copy all the variants we already have and just paste them back into the game with a new camo. And it's not like the camo changes for each weapon. It's the exact same camo. It just changes colors between each variant, which is, it's kind of lazy if you ask me, but it's what they decided to do, and it's something that we've got to live with if we want to continue playing this game. Now, a little channel update here at the end. I'm not sure what the future of Infinite Warfare holds for me, to be honest with you guys. This update kind of set me off, and it just turned me right off on this game. So I will continue my series that are currently running. I will finish up my epic variant reviews, and I will only be doing the epic variants, the original epic variants. I will not ever cover a Mark II variant on epic variant reviews. Sure, I'll use them when I do get them, just because why not? You're getting an extra 15% experience, and they're free because I'm not spending CoD points. But I'm not going to be spending any CoD points on getting these weapons at all. I've never spent CoD points in any Call of Duty game, but if I do end up getting these variants, I will definitely use them just to get the extra 15% experience. But for the most part, you will not see me using these variants in games. I don't think I'm going to get that many of them, especially because I don't open supply drops that often. I like to save mine up. I'm actually going to be doing a supply drop opening a little bit later today. I've got 1,200 keys, and I'm going to be opening as much as I can. Hopefully we can get some of these new epic variants, because those are the only ones that we need between Renman and mine accounts. He's got almost every epic variant in the game, so I just need to get the Cyclopean, the Sentinel, what's the other one? The Switchblade, and of course, in the Quartermaster collection, we're still looking for that machete. But apart from those, he has every other epic variant in the game, or we have the other epic variants between us. So I'm going to try and get the epic variants that we still need. I will not be covering any Mark II epic variants or anything like that, because I like to look at the new camouflages. I like to look at the way the weapon changes with the original epic variants. So I will be continuing the series that I have planned already. So epic variant reviews, golden weapon reviews, because those don't require variants. Those don't require the supply drop system. I will not be doing first look camos for this game. I started first look camos. I thought it was going to be pretty straightforward, pretty simple, because we did have something around, I think there was like 20, I want to say 23 camouflages before. They went up to death. Yeah, this was the final camouflage that we had before, was death, 23 camos in. And they added 100 camos overnight, and that is just too much for me to cover. 123 camouflages is too much. Not to mention, I'm not a big fan of the camouflages in this game. I did start this series with the frosted camouflage, which I will obviously keep on my channel. It's already an uploaded video, but this is a very special camouflage. It's an extra camouflage. I may cover all of the extra camouflages, including Hellstorm, Bullet Hawk, Alien mixtapes, but I will not be including the Quartermaster camouflages. I will not. It's not going to happen. I was planning to do first look camouflages, but I cannot keep up with 123 in this game, and however many they decide to add in Modern Warfare Remastered. Plus, this game doesn't really have a game mode for me to easily capture footage with these camouflages, whereas Modern Warfare Remastered, I've been doing it all in Cage Match, where I can easily get gameplays and show you guys the camouflages in that game mode. In here, I was going to have to go into capture the flag and do some weird things with like one single round for each camouflage. And honestly, it was going to work when there was only 23 camouflages. But 123 camouflages are not something that I have the gall to go through and cover every single one. So I will not be doing first look camouflages for this game. Unfortunately, there's just too much content here for me to cover. I was actually going to make a video explaining why I'm not doing camouflages or anything like that for Titanfall 2 because there's too much content in that game. And I was going to have a sort of broad topic commentary and say like, oh, when is too much content too much? Like, when is a lot of content too much content? Well, this is a perfect example of when there is too much content in a game. I cannot cover all of this. There's not a chance in hell I'll ever be able to unlock all 123 camouflages. Even with 2 or 3 people handing me their accounts or handing me their gameplays, I don't think we'll ever get through 123 camouflages. So it's just not going to happen. Something else I should check before we go is they may have added new reticles. I highly doubt it, but I think they could have. You never know. We've got 21 camouflages. I think these are all original camouflages, so it's not a big deal there. So yes, we've still got golden weapon reviews to do on Infinite Warfare. We've got epic variant reviews to do. I don't know. I'm still on the fence about covering those extras camouflages, but we'll see. I may also cover the mission team camouflages. I'm going to continue covering news and the like, but apart from that, supply drop openings, Quartermaster updates, in-game updates like actual patch notes and stuff like that, golden weapon reviews, epic variant reviews. That's the extent of my Infinite Warfare content this year, guys, I believe. I will also be doing my final camo showcase videos, so I'll do a showcase of gold on every weapon, of diamond on every weapon, solar on every weapon, and black sky on every weapon. But I think that's just about it for the content that I'll be doing with Infinite Warfare. I'm a much bigger fan of Modern Warfare Remastered, and this whole fiasco with the most recent supply drop opening has definitely swayed me even more in the favor of Modern Warfare Remastered. I know they're doing some pretty crazy stuff over there as well. They're adding in a bunch of really strange items, and we will be talking about the items that have just been leaked tomorrow in a news update. But apart from that, even with those things being added into Modern Warfare Remastered, I'm still a bigger fan of the game just because of the style of the game itself. I'm okay with them adding in some things into that game because it's not a mainstay Call of Duty game. It's like a backup Call of Duty game for this year, more or less, and you can kind of expect them to add in the goofy things in that game because, well, it's a goofier kind of game, and it's meant to be this remaster. It's meant to be this different idea, and honestly, I think that they are taking that game in a different direction, and I will be talking about that in the future as well. But later today, expect to see another live commentary. I'll be doing a supply drop opening, 1,200 keys, and hopefully we can get up a whole bunch of salvage so I can start purchasing some items in this armory, because between you and me, I really don't think I'm going to be getting a whole lot of new epic variants. I don't think I'm going to be unlocking any of the epic variants that I really need. I find that the odds are not in my favor in this Hunger Games. It's going to be hard to get the prototypes that I want, so hopefully I can get a bunch of duplicates or a bunch of extra spare salvage from the rare supply drops that I open, and hopefully I get enough that I can go ahead and start purchasing my way to the Cyclopean, to the Sentinel, which actually I'm pretty close on the Sentinel myself. I could probably purchase that after a couple of supply drop opens, or to the Switchblade. So Hopefully I can get some of these variants in here in the middle so that I can work my way up to the Switchblade or whatever, or hopefully I can get enough salvage that I can purchase the weapons that I really want. But that is in the next video. This video is coming to a close. Tell me what you think about the Quartermaster update. What are your thoughts on the Mark II collection without getting too toxic in the comment section down below. As I said before, I do not agree with this. I wholeheartedly don't agree with this, so please don't accuse me of supporting the Mark II system or the supply drop system in this game. I totally don't, and I've never bought a CoD point in my life. But I did have to make a news update in the spirit of professionalism and just talk about the new things that were added today without getting too toxic myself. So in the comment section down below, let me know what you guys think about the new update, the Mark II collection, the prototype lab, the new prototypes, the new variants, all of the customization items. Are you excited for all these new camos? Do you not like all the new camos? What are your opinions? Let me know in the comment section down below to start a conversation. Hit the like button if you enjoyed this video. Subscribe for more daily gaming goodness. Turn on your notifications by clicking on the bell next to the subscribe button. Oh my god. And yeah, that's it for today's video, guys. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you guys on my supply drop opening a little bit later today.